All right, so a little reading from Kinship with All Life by J. Allen Boone, and we're on chapter 11 called Curriculum. One day I ran into a kind of impasse with Strongheart in which he again became a complete enigma to me. Something was definitely blocking the way. Much to my private embarrassment, I finally found out what it was. Me. With all my well-intentioned efforts, I had been making the common ego mistake of trying to do all the thinking and to arrive at all the final conclusions for both of us. It just would not work that way, even with a dog. The only solution was to do a complete all-out in following the valuable advice Mojave Dan had given me. I had been doing so only partly. Little bears, okay, buddy. There had been altogether too much of me as a self-appointed knower and not enough of Strongheart and what he might have to share as an intelligent expression of life. Without being aware of the unfair thing I had been doing, I had mentally assigned myself to the upper part of the relationship of ours, because I happened to be a human, and had mentally assigned him to the lower part because he was a dog. I decided to do a complete right-about face. I would leave all human/animal traditions and conventions overboard, reserve the customary procedure of man trains dog, and instead make it dog trains man. I would try to set aside all pride in self and species, to quiet all intellectual resistance, to become as humble and as receptive as I know how. To let the dog really go to work on me in an educational way. That would certainly be fulfilling Mojave Dan's advice about going directly to a dog to get the facts about that dog. Strongheart became the professor. I was the entire student body, and wherever we happened to be, either outdoors or indoors, became our classroom. This is how this curriculum functioned as long as Strongheart's physical body was bounding around in the earth scene. And that is how it still functions. He is still my teacher, and I am still his pupil. Though the illusory mists of time and even death itself, he continues to share with me through the eternality of goodness, things that are exceedingly important for me to know and to practice. It was such an irregular curriculum and so far outside of all academic sanctions that until the results justified a sharing of the facts, it had to be kept a profound secret. I knew what rigidly set, bristling opinions most humans cherish in all matters having to do with education, when it comes to defining what qualifies one living being, to impart knowledge, skill, and the discipline of character to another living being. I could imagine what would happen if an animal were seriously recommended as a well-equipped teacher for humans. The only equipment that Professor Strongheart and I used in our educational system was a book of synonyms, a dictionary, and a notebook in pencil. These, of course, were for me. My teacher and trainer needed only himself, a bit of encouragement from me, my undivided attention, and enough space in which to operate. My study period was practically continuous as long as Strongheart was observable. School was in session and I was being taught. Our curriculum was flexible, unpredictable, practical, and full of fun. It was by no means an easy course. I had a large assortment of wrong beliefs in dogs and other animals. These notions had to be cleared out in order to make room for the facts. It took discipline, a sense of wonder and appreciation, inner and outer flexibility, unlimited expectancy, and a willingness to follow facts wherever they lead. All that Strongheart had to do as an instructor was to be himself. My part was carefully to watch everything he did and search for character qualities in him. My book of synonyms aided me to find the names of qualities, and the dictionary gave me a more thorough meaning of the qualities. Then I would list these qualities in my notebook and study just what he did with them in his moment-by-moment living. I did not look merely for good dog qualities, as they are usually listed by dog show judges and other professionals. I was searching for the universal best in qualities, regardless of species identification, for qualities of abiding worth, for the kind of qualities that we humans always respect and honor whenever we find them. in the members of our own species, even for the kind of qualities that all the great world teachers agree are essential for living the superior life. I found hundreds upon hundreds of these great qualities in Strongheart. Excuse me. They came welling up in all their purity and glory from deep within him. He diffused them as naturally and as irresistibly as a flower does its perfume, a bird its song, a child its laughter. This curriculum of ours was and is still completely without academic sanction. Nevertheless, I recommend it to you, especially if your relationship contacts, whether with humans or animals, have become restricted, flat, meaningless, and otherwise unprofitable. Should you decide to give it a trial, either with your own dog or some other kind of animal, you can be assured of richly rewarding results. It is not necessary to have a dog as accomplished and as famous as Strongheart in order to make this unorthodox curriculum work successfully. A specially bred dog is not required, nor is a trained one. Any old kind of a dog will do, as long as it wags its tail at your approach, not even excluding some dirty little mongrel that you may have come upon, which it was snatching at, that you may have come upon while it was snatching a bit of much-needed dinner from an overturned garbage pail. Sooner or later, the observant human comes to discover the practicality. Every dog is innately equipped with valuable knowledge and a wisdom, and is a master in the art of teaching humans by means of the irresistible power of a silent, good example. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing all right, and you all have a good day. All right, bye.